of HUF and family settlements. As we all know, HUF is an integral part of taxation of in most of the Hindu families. Still, we have got a lot of questions regarding. It's a very common things in Hindu families. Still, there are a lot of confusion regarding taxation of HUF. Like the basic questions like when HUF, how to create HUF, how capital can be created, then what are the role of Karta and what are the right of corporationers versus members, and then what happens if a Karta dies, how the partition will happen in HUF. Same other things in family settlement also. And to answer all these questions in our mind, CA Vimal Punya is there. He has been kind enough to join today and share his knowledge regarding HUF to us. So I am introducing CA Vimal Punya. CA Vimal Punya is a practicing CA for last 45 years. He is a BCom LLB CA. He is practicing CA for last 45 years as proprietor of Messrs. Vimal Punya and Company. And with the help of 25 assistants, he attended to nearly 1,000 resident and non-resident clients in various areas, that is taxation, audit, company law, RBI, GST, cooperative society, stamp duty, registration, and other matters related to properties, appeals, search and seizure, etc. CA Vimal Punya is attached to nearly 1,000 companies, trust firm as advisor, director, auditor, or trustee. He is member of the Standing Committee of TDS appointed by Income Tax Department. He is live member of Cricket Club of India and various other club and association, etc. He is Honorable Treasurer, the making of Mumbai Federation. He is Honorable Patron, State Agents Association of India, Federation of Accommodation, University of India. He has written number of books on transfer of flat, stamp duty, registration, capital gain, search, seizure and survey, HUF and family arrangements, assessment and appeal procedure, NRI provisions, etc. He has written various articles of public interest published in newspapers and magazines. Few of them are Times of India, Accommodation Times, Property Times, Mandavi Times, Chartered Accountant Journal, Newsletter of Institute of CA, State Agents Association of India, Maharashtra Chamber of Housing Industry. He has been speaker at thousands of seminars in India and abroad on topic of public interest, that is union budget, income tax provisions, stamp duty and registration, cooperative society, RBI provisions, recent issues such as penny stock, Benami transaction, assessment, builder and developer. He was president of All India Business Council, president of Lions Club of Chowpatty, president of Bombay Metropolitan Junior Chambers, president of Rajasthani National Association, Honorary Secretary, Marine Drive Citizens Association. You are Chairman, Trust and Taxation Committee of Lions Club District 323A. You are Co-Chairman, Company Law and Taxation Committee of All India Manufacturers Organization. He visited USA in 1997 as legal advisor to Exhibition India Property 1997 and was key speaker of various seminars chaired by High Commission of India in USA, held at Chicago, Houston, Dallas, Los Angeles, New York, New Jersey, etc. He was attached to leading firm of tax expert DM Harrison from 1975 to 1986. He was guest faculty for vocational course in taxation for HR College and Commerce and Economics, Mumbai from 1995 to 2005. He was chairman Viraj Giraj Cooperative Society Limited 2003 to 6. He was honorary treasurer Nizar Premises Cooperative Society Limited 1978 to 2004. He was recipient of number of prestigious awards from Bharat Merchant Chamber, Accommodation Times, Rotary Club, Lions Club, Chelsea, Hindustan, Rajasthani National Service Association, Maharashtra Chamber of Housing Industry, State Agent Association of India, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, SPU Degree College, Alna, Rajasthan, Giants Group and many business and other charitable organizations, Federation of Accommodation Industry of India. Friends, before we start this program, I request all the participants to keep their speaker mute because it creates disturbance and it disturbs the flow of the speaker. With this, I request Sri Vimal Punya to start the proceedings. Sir, you can start now, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm audible?
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. आप थोड़ा 5-5 मिनट में देखते रहना, देखने 2-3 बार बंद हो गया अभी. Okay. Honorable convener and friends, today we are going to discuss about the taxation of HUF and family arrangement. What is HUF? How funds come in HUF? How assessment of HUF take place? And various areas of HUF. Then we'll discuss about daughter's right in HUF property, because number of development has taken place in last few years. Third item, if time permit, we'll discuss about the family arrangement. So let us start with HUF straight away. Friends, what is HUF and it is applicable to whom? HUF means Hindu undivided family. And this applies only to the Hindus, not to Muslim, not to Christian, not to Parsis. But when they say Hindu, Hindu include Jain, Sikh, Buddha, and normal Hindus, Western. So there it is applicable. As a chartered accountant, mainly we are concerned with income tax. And income tax, what is the benefit? We have a parallel file of HUF. For example, I am individually assessed to income tax as Vimal Punya. I have Vimal Punya HUF. So whatever deductions are available to the individual, same deduction is available in the HUF. Whether it is basic deduction or whether deduction connected with the capital gain, 54, 54 EC, 54F, all deductions are available. So you have a parallel file. I will give you later on certain examples where one can save really 2 to 3 lakh rupees by creating one extra file of HUF. Now, friends, who can form HUF?
Hello, Mr. Parthiban, आप अपना ये स्पीकर ऑफ म्यूट करें.
Now, basic requirement to create HUF is person must get married. Without marriage, there is no HUF. Now, whether after marriage, automatically HUF is formed on the same day, or till son is born, or till daughter is born. So there are little controversies, I will tell you. Because in HUF get money by way of three things. One, partition of father's HUF from will of somebody else, and third, by way of a gift. Now, if money is received by the partition of father's HUF, because for example, my father's HUF is partition, and I get my share, that belong to my HUF. If I'm not married on that point of time, then money will come to my individual. I'm liable to pay income tax in my individual. This income, whatever income will come on this money will be added to my individual. But the moment I get married, those funds, originally what I received from my father's partition of HUF, along with accumulated funds, minus income tax what is paid, will go to the HUF. So if partition money is received on account of partition of father's HUF, then that HUF can be formed even immediately on the marriage without the children. In end of 7th phera, as the Hindu ritual 7th phera hota hai, court marriage, so end of that HUF is formed. If money is received by way of a will, my grandfather made a will or my grandmother made a will, and they have given certain money to me on account of the inheritance to my HUF, that also HUF can be formed in this way. But if I receive a gift from somebody else as a friend, then my HUF must have two co-partners. Now, what is co-partner? Co-partner is the person who can claim partition in HUF. Any person who born in the family is a co-partner. Any person who is not born in the family, outside, come from the outside, is a member of the HUF and not a co-partner. For example, in my HUF, my son, my daughter, they are born in the family. They are my co-partners, my co-partner of my HUF. But my wife has come from outside. She is not co-partner of my HUF. She is simply a member of my HUF. My daughter-in-law have come from outside. She is not the co-partner. She is a member. So whenever member is there, member can claim only maintenance from the HUF if the particular member is not maintained by her husband or her whatever as per the law. So for example, my daughter-in-law, she have no right in my HUF property till my son is alive. But if my son is not maintaining her, she can claim maintenance from me. My wife cannot claim the partition of HUF, but she can claim definitely maintenance. But whenever partition will take place, she will get equal share at par with other co-partner and other members. So, so those are treated as a member and other side is a co-partner. Now friends, earlier there was a concept, the daughter get married, she ceased to be part of your family. And daughter-in-law comes in your family, she used to be member of your HUF. Not co-partner, but HUF, member. Now, let me tell you here only before we proceed further. On 9th of September 2005, so law was amended. And that law says, daughter is part of your family. She will not cease to be member of co-partner of a family because she got married. She is born in the family, so she will be part of your family here as a co-partner. But that will be only after daughter get married after 9th of December 2005. So all daughter who got married before 9th of September 2005 have no right. So accordingly, there was a lot of dispute on this. Cases were filed in the court. And I will not take long, but I will just tell you in short. Somewhere in 2016, when judgment came from Supreme Court in the case of Prakash and others versus Fulvati. Now, what happened in that judgment? Two judges decided in 2016, 2 SCC 36 page number by Supreme Court. And that says if daughter is alive on 9 September 2005, and her father is also alive on 9 September 2005, then only daughter will get the right. Otherwise, daughter will not get. If father passed away before 9 September 2005, then daughter will not get any right. Or a daughter passed away before 9 September 2005, then also daughter will not get. So some controversy started, but one way things were settled, but many other cases were pending before Supreme Court. So somewhere in 2018, Supreme Court decided in another case, the Manna versus Suman Saprur. There is a big name, the Manna, Suman Saprur and others versus Amar and others. 2018, 3 SSC 343 page number. Now that judgment what Supreme Court said, whether daughter is alive or not, whether father is alive or not, if money is there in the HUF, then daughter have a right. So if daughter is dead before 9 September 2005, then also children of the daughter can claim the, because they are the children of the co-partner, so they can also claim the money, whatever their right. What mother was entitled, the child will get. So if again it was contrary to each other, but again Supreme Court is Supreme Court. Then somewhere in 2020, 18th August 2020, Supreme Court appointed bench of 3 judges, and they have decided finally Vanita Sharma versus Rakesh Sharma. And that judgment they said, in case of HUF, daughter have right, whether she is dead or alive, whether she is money is there or not there, but what they said, because first judgment of 2016, what they said, this law is prospective and not a retrospective. Second judgment of 2018 says it is a retrospective, applied to earlier period also. But this judgment they say this law is not retrospective, this law is not prospective, this is a retroactive. Retroactive means Supreme Court decided one date, which law was passed, actually signed by the President on 9 September 2005, but it was approved by the Rajya Sabha on 24th of December 2004. So they said whatever partition has taken place before 24th of December 2004, those will be not disturbed. Those will remain active, provided that the genuine partition, not antedated document, the genuine partition has taken place, those will be not affected. But if partition taken place after 24th of December 2004, those all will be affected and daughter will have right. Even daughter is alive or dead will make no difference, and daughter will have right. Or father is dead or alive will not make difference, but they will have right in the property of the HUF. But if proper partition has taken place before 24th of December 2004, then of course daughter will cease to be owner of the HUF property. So that was the major amendment as far as HUF is concerned relating to right of a daughter. Now friends, now because now after rate of tax has gone down, the rebate is not that much which was there earlier. But when tax rate was 97.75%, wealth tax was 13%, estate duty was 85%, gift tax was 85%, expenditure tax was 60%. That time having a parallel file of HUF had lot of meaning. But now, of course, even today, a person have a file of HUF separately. Every year, if his income is more than 20 lakh at both the places or 15 lakh at both the places individually as well as HUF, then he can save every year 2,13,250 rupees. Now, friends, how to form HUF? What HUF is known as? Many times we feel that HUF is generated family. If all brothers are staying together, having common kitchen, then there is a HUF. Friends, that is not the criteria. There can be common kitchen, still there may not be an HUF. And there may be a separate kitchen, still the business may be in HUF. Or there may be file of HUF. So kitchen criteria now it is not there. So common kitchen have no value now. So they can stay combined, they can stay separately, they can do business combined. But whole idea is that what is the source of the money? Whether money have come from the partition of father or grandfather's HUF, money received as per will for the purpose of HUF, money received as a gift for the purpose of HUF, and with that fund business is started and returns are filed in the end person have at least 2 co-partners in the family, then HUF is formed. Once formed, then HUF continue. Let us example one, say for I got married. My HUF is there. My father partition taken place, money was there in my individual account. I transferred immediately to HUF business started. And let us assume that my no child is born. And my wife also passed away within few years. Then also my HUF will continue because I can always get married again. But in case me and my wife is there and I passed away, then the HUF will come to an end and whatever property of the HUF will go to individual account of my wife. Let us assume that I passed away, but my wife is there and my daughter is also there. Till 2 persons are there, HUF will continue. So to continue HUF, really 2 co-partners are required. But for example, wife is there and co-partner is not there, only one co-partner and one wife, then also HUF can continue. Let us say my daughter's son is there after my death and my wife is there. This HUF will continue till my wife is alive. And my son can form another HUF for his family, his wife and his children. My grandson can have a third HUF. I can be cut off my own HUF, I can be cut off my father's HUF, I can be cut off my grandfather's HUF. My grandfather passed away, I may be the eldest. So I become the karta of that HUF because my father and uncle is also not there. My father had HUF, he also passed away. And my mother and my brothers are there. So I am eldest son, I will be karta of that HUF. So one person can be karta of many HUF. Then friends, so once the HUF is formed, it continues. Now, end of the day, when we talk about income tax, we are more concerned with the money. So from where money will come in HUF, HUF can have own their income, but HUF cannot carry on the profession. They can have agency. They have commission income, kacha adatiya, pachka adatiya, trading, share market, all type of business they can do. Can be done by Karta or any other member on behalf of the HUF. But if Karta is doing, then no problem. If somebody else is doing, then the person is to be authorized. But if a chartered accountant is the Karta of HUF, then he cannot do business in the HUF. So chartered accountant have to, family has to decide somebody else will become Karta for the purpose of limit that till chartered accountant practice is continuing. Now, friends, who is the Karta? Eldest person in the family is the Karta. Now, let us say my father's HUF, my father was the Karta. After death of my father, for example, we are 6 brother and sister. So eldest will be the Karta. If eldest say, I don't want, he's a non-resident, he's non-competent, then second person will come. Second can be lady also. My sister can be Karta. It is not that male only will be Karta. After 9th September 2005, eldest person, it can be lady. Of course, my mother cannot be Karta. Let me give a good example here. This is Gwalior Maharaja. Jiaji Rao Scindia was expired somewhere in 1949. He had Jiaji Rao Scindia HUF. At the time of death of Maharaja of Gwalior, Jiaji Rao Scindia, he had only one wife, one son, mother of Scindia, and 4 daughters. Vijay Scindia and various other 3 other persons. Now, what happened? That time, all children were minor. And mother of Scindia had lot of wealth in the HUF. That time, what happened? Minor cannot become Karta of HUF. So Rajmata, as a natural guardian, Vijay Scindia, as a natural guardian of 5 children, was acting as a Karta of HUF. Karta or manager, whatever we call. Raja Maharaja family, after the children become, it continues as HUF. Mother was only signing everywhere. In fact, when Maharaja become 18 years or eldest daughter become 18 years, then Rajmata ceased to be a member Karta of the HUF. Or that person has to sign. But it was going on. Somewhere in 1976, when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister, in our country there was emergency. And all opposition leaders, Vijay Scindia and all were arrested. Mother of Scindia left country at that point of time. When Mother of Scindia came to India, he became friendly with Rajiv Gandhi. And he left that party, Swatantra Party or BJP or Jansangh, whatever he was having earlier, and joined the Congress. Mother have not liked this idea. So some dispute started between mother and son. Thousands of cases are filed against each other. And then what happened? Then Rajmata one day made a will of the property of Rajmata herself and all HUF property also, and distributed to 4 daughters equally. After death of a Rajmata, when Mother of Scindia have come to know, he filed case against mother or rather other legal heirs that first the property belong to HUF. So HUF property cannot be willed. It can be only partition. Second, Mother of Scindia taken a ground. My mother was not even the Karta of the HUF. So he have no right even to distribute the asset. I was the, because everything happened before 9 September 2005. So that time, a male only was allowed to be Karta. Female was not allowed to be Karta. After 9th September 2005 amendment, only daughter can become Karta of HUF. We see elder. So that time, the matter went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said, yes, Rajmata cannot make a will of HUF property. Rajmata cannot act as a Karta of the HUF. She was simply acting as a guardian of children and running the show as a manager of HUF. But the moment children become, eldest child become more than 18-year-old, she ceased to be Karta. And then, of course, separate private settlement, they've divided equally among all 5 members. So what I want to convey is a property of HUF cannot be willed. What I can do maximum, whatever, whenever partition take place, maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and whatever share I will get that point of time, that share will go to my son or daughter or whatever I want to give, I can do that. If I don't make a will of that item, then property remain in HUF and that will go as per the Hindu Succession Act 1956. Whenever partition will take place, That time, all person who alive, they may divide equally, they may not divide equally. They can decide whatever they want. Even my, for example, there is an arrear against me in my individual capacity. I have to pay income tax of say 50 lakh rupee. I am unable to pay. Oh, and my HUF have a fund. Income tax officer cannot recover from my HUF. Simply, he can attach that property. Whenever partition will take place, he can claim that much amount. But partition may not take place for 50 years. I too will not get for 50 years. Another important, if HUF give loan to individual or any of the member, or individual give loan to the HUF, then section 269 SS or 269 T, no section is applicable. There is a board circular to this effect. Then friends, before 1/4/1968, individual person was allowed to transfer property to HUF and create form another file of HUF. Then 1st April 2068, it was discontinued. 31st March 1968, it was permitted. Again from 1/4/2013, it started. So only 1968 to 2013, individual person were not allowed to transfer property from individual, like Vimal Punya individual to Vimal Punya HUF. But now again I can transfer, but only I have to see section 64. I have to keep in mind if wherever clubbing provisions are applicable, that is to be taken care of. Otherwise, individual, any family member, me, my children, my wife, anyone can transfer property to HUF, and a fund can be created in HUF, income can be generated, and that will be assessed separate. One person can be member of several HUF. For example, I am a co-pastor of my father's HUF. I am a karta of my HUF. So I can be co-pastor of my HUF. And earlier, you know, of course, Calcutta is very famous for that. They used to make multiple HUFs. But nowadays, I am not popular in Bombay, but they will say, may form the HUF. For example, one person has 4 children. Husband, wife, 4 children, 1 HUF. Husband, wife, 3 children, another HUF. Husband, wife, 2 children, another HUF. Then, you know, they will add something and delete something. So, for example, there are 36 members in the family. They can form 35 HUFs. But nowadays, it is not that popular because rate of tax has gone down substantially. So, there is not much benefit. And it is not free from litigation also. But Bombay, of course, it is not popular, but multiple HUFs are also allowed. Can be member of several HUF. Married daughter have right in father's property of HUF. And now daughter, for my daughter, is co-pastor of my HUF. But she is not co-pastor of her husband's HUF. There she is only a member. In my HUF, she is the co-pastor even after marriage. Similarly, my daughter-in-law is not co-pastor of my HUF or my son's HUF. She is simply a member. But she is the co-pastor of her father's HUF. So after 9th September, major things have taken place and major things have changed. Now, what is the right of co-pastor? They can claim simply a maintenance, that is extra right. Sorry, they can claim partition, and member can claim only right of maintenance. Only normal course. At the time of partition, a wife of the karta can claim equal amount at par with the co-partner. She cannot claim partition, but whenever partition takes place, she is entitled for that money and she gets that money from the HUF. Now, friends, once we come to the partition of HUF, before 31st of December 1978, partial partition was allowed. For example, my father had HUF. My father had a HUF. Sir, I'm audible or any problem?
You are audible, sir. You are audible,
Okay. Before 31st December 1978, let us say my father had a HUF. My father made the partial partition of the HUF. And he gave to 4 children, say 1 lakh rupee. And remaining whatever, only he distribute only 6 lakh. Or say 4 brothers, 2 sisters, 1 mother and him. And we make a partition and distribute only 8 lakh rupees. And then HUF have, say, for example, 10 lakh rupees. So with 2 lakh, his HUF will continue. He will get a separate deduction, whatever he is getting otherwise. And we 4 children, daughter will get money in their individual capacity. My mother will get money in an individual capacity. We 4 brothers, 4 example, 3 are married. With that 1 lakh, our HUF will start. So 3 more file will come, all brothers separately. So my HUF, me, my wife, and my children will be there. Similarly, my brother, 3rd brother. 4th brother, for example, not married. So money will go to the individual. He will have to keep in a separate bank account. Interest will be earned. And whenever he gets married, that money will be transferred there. So such partial partition was allowed up to 31st December 1978. So father HUF also continue and he can make multiple HUF out of it. But after 31st December 1978, partial partition is not allowed. Only my father, if want to make our HUF, he has to dissolve his HUF completely. His HUF will come to an end. And money will be distributed 100%. If there is immovable property, then there may be stamp duty also, and partition deed has to be registered also. If there is no immovable property, then need not be registered. Again, in HUF, a certain concession is given in stamp duty. Let me tell you here only, because stamp duty is state is separate. What example I'm giving you just now is for Maharashtra. Same, you have to go to the Bengal. And Tamil Nadu may be something else. In Maharashtra, what is the law? For example, partition of HUF take place. Let us say total 100 rupees there. And let us say there are 1 crore rupees there. 100 rupees example will not fit in. So 1 crore rupees there. And there are 4 persons. Everyone take 25 lakh, 25 lakh, 25 lakh. First share is exempted. One share, largest share is exempted. So remaining 75 lakh pay, you to pay 2% stamp duty. So 1.5 lakh will go there, stamp duty. For example, they make unequal partition. And out of 1 crore, they give 99 lakh to 1 person. And 1 lakh only to be given to other 3%. So 99 lakh wala share will be free, no stamp duty. Whether it's a property or immovable property or movable property. Only 1 lakh they have to pay 2%. So only 2,000 stamp duty will be there. And then of course all are related. So when the person get 99 lakh, he can give gift in personal capacity to all other person. Again 56 to 10. Again exemption will come. So that care has to be taken. But Bengal mein, what is the law? I don't know. So that stamp duty local law you have to see. But if case there is no immovable property, then we need not register also. If you don't register, no stamp duty applicable. Nobody pays practically. It is applicable, but nobody pays. And income tax is the central government, state government is stamp duty. But otherwise, if strictly we have to go as per the law, then excluding one largest share, stamp duty is applicable at the rate of 2% in Maharashtra, whether it is a property is movable or immovable. It amount to partition of HUF and partition में stamp duty is applicable. Now, complete partition, if you do, we have to apply to Income Tax Department also under Section 179 to recognize the partition. And ITO passed the order, sorry, under Section 171, and ITO passed the order recognizing the HUF. Then we have to surrender our PAN number. After filing a partition deed, we have to surrender the PAN number of HUF. A Xerox copy of all the co-parcels has to be attached because property has been allocated to all the persons. So if that will show as a credit in this person, then after that, ITO will recognize, pass the proper order, and matter will end. So full partition is permitted, partial partition is not permitted. Even for example, there is one property and partition take place. Property is such you can't divide. Then all will become co-owner of the property. And they can make combinedly one co-ownership agreement. This is the property was belonging to the HUF. Now we got it under partition. Now we are the co-owner, 6% or 5% or 4%. Our share will be like this. Whenever income will come, we distribute individual capacity, HUF capacity. All income will go to the HUF now. So we will distribute like this. Whenever expenditure is required, we will contribute like this. And co-ownership agreement can be made. And that can be notarized, or the person want to register, they can register also. After partition, they will become co-owner, and there is an undivided right title interest we call, because property is not divided. So partial partition after 31st December 1978 is not allowed at all. That is very clear. Then following method or devices may prove useful to reducing the tax incidence in the case of HUF. These are the various areas, like for example, increasing the number of accessible units through the device of partition of HUF. By division of the partition of HUF, we can increase number of files and accordingly rate of tax can go down. By creation of separate taxable unit of HUF through will or in favor of HUF or gift of HUF. Let us say my father have no HUF and I want to form my own HUF. Now how I will able to do? I will take a gift from my friend or my brother or my relative, and with that corpus, I will open the bank account. One declaration will be made by that person. Okay, yes, I am giving this gift to Mr. Vimal Punmiya. HUF consists of himself, his wife, his children. And now onwards, he will be the owner of the. Normally, gift deed, what we make, such declaration is to be made. Or gift deed, we can say. Because once you make the gift deed, they attract stamp duty. In Bombay, it is like 3% of first 20,000, 4% of next 20,000, and 5% of the balance. But practice, nobody pays. Gift deed means donor and donee both sign on one document, that is become document, that is deed. So now here what we do, person make a declaration. Donor make one declaration, yes, I have given gift to Mr. So-and-so, 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 by check number this. But donee will not sign on that document. Donee will make another declaration. And they make 500 stamp paper here and get it notarized. So both person, donor and donee will not sign on one document, both will sign separate. And such document also can be made. And accordingly, give HUF will start by way of a gift received from the relative or friend or anyone. Through family settlement, which we'll discuss later. By family settlement also, Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani, when they made the partition, assets with lakhs and crores of rupees were there. But not paid a single rupee by way of stamp duty, not paid a single rupee by way of income tax, because under family settlement, all are exempted. Nothing is applicable, which we'll discuss later. By payment of remuneration to the Karta and other members of the family. Now, if you have more income, so one can give remuneration to the all family members if they are working for HUF. And accordingly, to that extent, here rate of tax will be less. If their income is less than 5 lakh, then they will not even pay the taxes. And there they will get deduction of rate of tax will go down maybe up to 43%. So that way also planning is possible. Use of loan from HUF to the members of HUF. If HUF have a lot of funds, then HUF can give loan to individual without interest, and individual can invest and do business. If HUF have no funds, then individual can give loan without interest to the HUF. But loan can be given out of our own capital. For example, I want to give loan of 50 lakh to my HUF, and Vimal Punmiya individual have capital of 2 crore rupee. I'm not paying interest to anyone. Then yes, that is my money. I can do whatever I want. But I cannot borrow from somebody else at 12%, give to my HUF without interest. That is not permitted. So my own fund I can give. So one has to take care of those disallowances under section 36 and various other sections. Then through gift by HUF to his members, especially to the female members. Daughter is getting married. HUF want to give gift out of HUF. That basically HUF property, you can't make a will. You can't give gift also. But to maintain the customary in a nature, at a time of daughter's wedding, sister's wedding, children's wedding, HUF want to give some gift. Yes, that is permitted. So that can be given. Or particularly female member. If you give substantial money, HUF have funds of 1 crore and you want to give 25 lakh, then department may take as a partition of partial partition of HUF, which is not permitted. And again, the clubbing provision of section 64 and other section may apply. So reasonable amount at a time of family occasion, but of course, for the education purpose of the family members, kitchen expenses, medical expenses, HUF can incur any amount, even to the extent of 100% of the capital. To give to HUF to members, especially female members, through other method devices, depending upon case to case. So that way planning can be done. Now, partition of HUF, I told you, partial partition is not permitted, full partition has to be done. If not assessed to tax, now partial partition is allowed only in one situation. If HUF is not assessed, because partial partition is prohibited under the Income Tax Act, not under the Hindu Succession Act 1956. So, if any HUF whose income is not taxable and not filing the return, not assessed to income tax, there you can do the partial partition and create more HUF if you want, or divide part by part. But if HUF is assessed to income tax, filing the return, then partial partition is not permitted. You have to do full partition only. So not assessed HUF, still can do the partial partition. Then friends, partition is no transaction. Means when you make the partition of HUF and receive any money by the co-partners in individual capacity or HUF capacity, no income tax is applicable. Our section 47, 48, if you read, they will say no capital gain tax applicable. Cost of earlier, let us take example, my father's partition, HUF partition take place. I received one plot in Rajasthan. I sold that property. Let us say partition taken place in December 2001 or 2021. I sold that property, say in March 2022, within 4 months. I was not holding even for more than 2 years. I sold that property for 3 crore rupee. There was a plot of land, which is a fact. So whether I'm liable to pay tax? If yes, then what amount? Actually, when I received in December 2021, that time I received from the partition of my father's HUF, that asset will go from my father's HUF, it comes to my HUF. I'm not liable to pay any tax whatsoever. But when I sold in March, had my father sold from his HUF in March, he was also liable to pay tax. So whatever tax my father was liable to pay, had he has sold, same tax I have to pay. Now what deduction my father would have got? One, cost with indexation, he will get the deduction. He will get deduction under section 54F, 54EC, and whatever left over, he was liable to pay the tax. So same will be treated in my case. Now let us say my father has purchased that property in 1952, when I was born, and he paid just 300 rupee. Today I sold that property for 3 crore rupee. Now the 300, had my father sold, he was allowed to substitute the market value of 1st April 2021. So let us say 1st April 2001, value was 20 lakh rupee. Even cost was 300. So 20 lakh has to be substituted against 300. Then of course indexation will come. So 3.17, let us say 3 times. So 60 lakh will be the index cost. Had my father sold, he will get deduction of 60 lakh. So I will also get deduction of 60 lakh. So my gain will be only 240. 50 lakh I invested in bond 54 EC. My father was allowed to do that. So I am holding for lesser period, but all benefit what my father was entitled, I will get. So my father hand, it was long term. So my hand also it will be long term. I invested 50 lakh in the bond. Money will block for 5 years. I earn interest of 6%. Again, tax free. So out of 240 and then reduce 50. So 190 remain. Out of 190, I purchased another property, residential house. I had only one house, so under 54F, I can buy another house. So I purchased another house, which will be ready within 3 years and I will get the possession. And then I will hold for another 3 years. So I'm not liable to pay any tax. So all the benefit, cost of acquisition, date of acquisition, whatever earlier owner was entitled, I will also get the same benefit. Now, friends, creation of HUF as a separate taxable unity will be in favor of, with that same thing I already told you, HUF can receive the gift. If at the time of wedding also, what gift we receive at the time of reception, and somebody says this is for Mr. So-and-so HUF, that fund also can go to HUF. If many persons are showing agriculture income in HUF, then at least they must have land there, or they may have some contact with the landlord. They got the contract. Simply, I've seen 1 or 2 appeal recently. Person having no land, he have no contract with anybody, and just he's showing end of the day, end of 5 lakh agriculture income, 10 lakh agriculture income. So that normally will be very risky, not permitted. But if I have a land, then I can have a income also in HUF. Similar way, when partition of HUF take place, and we say cost of earlier owner is to be taken as my cost, date of acquisition to be taken as my date of acquisition, same apply to family settlement also, which we will discuss later. Remuneration to Karta, I already explained. HUF can become partner with the partnership firm. But as such, under Registrar of Firm Act, HUF cannot become partner. So we came to say, for my HUF want to become partners, I have to say Vimal Punmiya, representing Vimal Punmiya, HUF is a partner. So there I'm partner, I'm in individual capacity, but I'm representing my HUF. Because company is a legal entity. If company want to become partner, there is no hassle. But in case of HUF, somebody has to represent. So and so person, like a partnership firm want to become partner in another partnership firm, then one of the partners has to represent this firm. Firm is not also legal entity like a company. So similar way, somebody has to represent, and whatever profit will come will be credited to HUF, because the person is representing. For example, somebody has bought the property in name of a Karta. Many society don't allow property in name of HUF. Now he had invested out of the fund of HUF, purchased property in name of individual. Now whenever he sells the property, whatever money comes, it will go to individual. Money will come to individual, but at the end of the day, he has to transfer to HUF. A similar way, TDS is also deducted in individual. So there also in return, there is a column, benefit will be given to HUF because fund is shown in the HUF. Before 97-98, HUF, if any one person in HUF, any co-partner is having taxable income, then that HUF was treated as a specified HUF. And HUF was liable to pay higher tax. For example, individual is liable to pay tax slab at the rate of 10%, and second slab is 20. Then instead of 10, HUF will pay 20. If individual is liable to pay 20, then he will pay 30. So now 97-98 onwards, you don't have to bother. That all clause is over. Today, as on today, individual and HUF both are at par. For example, individual have income of 20 lakh, whatever tax will come, HUF also have 20 lakh, what same tax will come, not a single rupee more or less. Loan to a member of the HUF, I already explained you. If more funds are there, loan can be given with interest or without interest. Loan can be given at 6%, other party can invest at 12%. Loan can be taken at 6% and invested at 12% by HUF. Gift to any member of a reasonable amount by the HUF to the family member is valid in law. Gift to any member unreasonable amount, if somebody challenge, then it is avoidable in law. But gift to outsider, not a customer in a nature, that is invalid in law.
So आपने last में क्या कहा कि give to any person outsider is not?
Sorry, sir.
Give to any person outsider.
हाँ.
Is not legal.
A customer in a nature. For example, some wedding is there, we are given gift of 5,000. That is okay. But for the HUF funds of 1 crore, they will give gift of 25 lakh to outsider, completely outsider. That is invalid. That is not allowed. We give to a family member, no other family member is objecting, then it is okay. Reasonable amount, it is fine. Otherwise, and basically, first
beyond
principle
reasonable amount, sir, beyond reasonable amount will be clubbing हो जाएगी क्या उसकी income पे? 6 crore में आप किसी को 25 लाख गिफ्ट देते हैं, so that income will be clubbed in the hands of the HUF.
इनकम विल क्लब, उसको पकड़ने को कहाँ जाएंगे उधर? आईटी तो कुछ भी एस्टिमेट करके ऐड करते जाएगा. Given to outsider, you have no control on that. So he will make some estimate and he will go on year after year, litigation चालू हो जाएगा. Now HUF can receive gift. उसमें कोई लिमिट नहीं है. Anyone can give. Now if other than relative का HUF को gift आएगा, then of course it will be added under 56(2)(10). If relative का आएगा and exceptions में covered है, then of course there is no problem. So that way, HUF has many cases taken a profit of penny stock. अब उसमें तो काफी controversial view है. Many cases it is allowed, many cases not allowed. So God knows what will happen. Wherever tribunal have allowed, matter is pending in the High Court. Board issued one circular also. Even normal limit is there. Appeal up to 50 lakh tax effect. The department don't file against the CITP's order before tribunal. Up to 1 crore tax effect, they don't go to the High Court. Up to 2 crore tax effect. And again, tax effect means excluding interest and penalty and everything. They can't go to Supreme Court. But taken exception, penny stock is exception to that. So many cases, even a tax effect is only 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, they are filing appeal in the High Court. So that litigation is going on. Again, any information received from third party, the third investigation agency, like for example, department received, let us say income tax officer in Bombay, receive information from Calcutta income tax department. Then of course, that is not covered in that exception. But for example, income tax department in Bombay receive the information from GST department, DRI department, custom department, or some another department. Then of course, that information is treated as a third party information. And there, again, they will cover under exception, even 50 lakh, 1 crore, 2 crore, whatever the limit, department will file appeal. That limit will not applicable to such cases. So, litigation chali raha hai, bogus purchase ke, all information from GST, so that litigation is going on. So, whether HUF or individual, if they taken penny stock, they taken bogus purchases, they taken bogus share premium, so they are all victim of that, like individual. But share premium, of course, is not covered under exception. A share premium ke andar, if amount is 50 lakh tax effect, no appeal in tribunal. Up to 1 crore, no appeal in High Court. 2 crore, no appeal in Supreme Court. If amount is more than that, then of course appeal will be there. Now Vinit Kumar, because who is a relative in HUF? So they say that HUF is a notional entity, for assessable entity. So actually HUF, what do you mean by HUF? A Mr. Karta, his wife, his son, his daughter. So instead of HUF, if HUF received the gift, then it will assume that gift is received by Karta, his wife, his children and daughter, son and daughter. So whether section 56 to 10 may, these persons come under exception. They have received from somebody and that person fall under the exception, then of course no clubbing will be there. So there is a good judgment of Vinit Kumar, Raghubuj Bhai Bhaladia, 11 taxmen. I've sent that right up to our convener, so they may forward to you after lecture is over. Then friends, property received under the will, no tax. Same thing, when you receive under the partition of HUF, no income tax, no stamp duty, correct? No income tax. And when you sell, capital gain, date of acquisition and cost of acquisition. Same principle to apply to when you receive something by way of a will on inheritance. So whatever rule applicable to partition of HUF, that applies to will and inheritance also. And that applies to family settlement also. Property inherited from an ancestral to the ancestral dying interest. Unequal distribution of party. I've already given you example. 1 lakh, 1 crore में 19 lakh एक आदमी को दे दिया. Then also it permitted. So unequal partition is also allowed. 82 ITR 599. After partition, also reunion is possible. For example, now complete partition is to be done. Partial partition is not permitted. So complete partition has taken place. Now there again, for example, my HUF. I have one son, one daughter, wife and me. We have made a complete partition. My file come to an end. I want to start again HUF. So again with my wife and me, or me, my wife and daughter, me and my wife or son, or only me and my wife can start the HUF. To start the HUF, at least 2 persons are required. That is important. Then, so reunion is also permitted. 215 ITR 836. Vijay Puri Chettiar. Representative of HUF in a partnership firm already explained. Remuneration to Karta, a member of HUF, already explained. HUF can pay salary, not pay salary, depend upon the income and tax funding system. HUF and firm, yes, a partner can become. Amendment in Hindu Succession Act 2005, already told you, lady daughter's right in HUF property. Now, landmark decision in subject to HUF are like this. Son received his share of partition belong to his HUF. Means one person, what happened? He received the HUF money from his father on partition of HUF. And he has taken that into individual. So court said, no, he cannot take to individual. It is HUF property. That money belongs to the whole family. He, his wife and children. If he's not married, then definitely he can take to individual capacity. But whenever he get married, money has to be transferred. After death of a son, his wife is competent co-partner. Like for example, there is a HUF. Mr. A is the Karta. A's son is the co-partner. A's daughter is the co-partner. A's wife is a member. So son's wife have no right. But let us assume the son passed away in lifetime of Mr. A. Then instead of son, his daughter-in-law and her all children will come in the picture. And whatever the partition take place and whatever right is entitled for the son will given to the daughter-in-law and children equally. So on that, I've given a number of judgment. Unequal partition is practical. Only ladies member HUF to continue till dissolution. What happened? There was a HUF. Karta, his one daughter and wife was there. Now Karta passed away. So daughter and wife, daughter and her mother, the two persons are there. So HUF continue. One day mother also passed away. Then money was transferred to individually to the daughters. So till two members are alive, HUF continue. Gift by lady member of HUF to HUF, section 64 is to be considered. So only section now 56 to 10, section 64, those 2-3 sections has to be kept in mind whenever you accept the gift. Now friends, little part we take the family arrangement. Recording of family arrangement. Actually what I've told you, HUF is applicable only to the Hindu. Hindu means Hindu, Sikh, Jain and both. But as for family arrangement, family settlement is concerned, apply to everyone. It can be Muslim, it can be Parsi, it can be Christian. Under HUF, partition has to be taken place as a once for all, full partition. Under family arrangement, you can do in piecemeal. You can divide jewelry today, house, property tomorrow, something else day after tomorrow. Few items you carry on for 10 years and then divide. Everything is possible in a family arrangement. Family arrangement also can be equal, unequal. So, but family arrangement have certain requirements. Person whole aim is to there is a chances of litigation in the family. So to avoid the future litigation, keep harmony in the family, peace in the family. If that settlement is arrived, that is known as a family settlement. Family settlement can be among the family members only. I cannot take my outside friend and settle with him something and give him the property and tell him where the family. No. Family settlement, before my father's family settlement take place, then my father, my mother, we all brother, we all sister, our wife, our children, and my father's brother's children. Something has to be relative, and those person can be part of the family whose some notional interest is there in that asset. Let us assume in my family, my uncle's children have no right, but they can create some problem because my father received property from my grandfather. So they unnecessarily can create some litigation, and we take him under our family and give him something, then also no problem. But my father is self-acquired property is there. Nothing is received from my grandfather. Then my uncle's children are not part of our family. So I cannot allocate to them. So basically, person who is interested in the asset of the family, person, and to maintain the harmony and peace in the family, partition, they make unequal partition or settlement, that is permitted. So completely stranger cannot come. I will just read as it is. There are 4-5 conditions for the family arrangement. The family arrangement should be for the benefit of the family in a general. So it is for the benefit of the family, which they want to avoid litigation. The family arrangement must be bona fide, honest, voluntary, and it should not be induced by fraud, coercion, and undue influence. So it should be voluntarily. You cannot call the family member and put pressure on them. You have to sign this. I will get 80%. You will get only 20%. No, that is not family arrangement. All must be consent to them. Third, the purpose of family arrangement should be resolve present or possible family dispute and rival claim, not necessarily legal claim, or fair and equitable division of the property among various members. If two brothers are fighting, one want everything, the second brother say, okay, you take everything, keep peace in the family. That is allowed. That is also family settlement. Fourth, Parties to the family arrangement must have antecedent, title, claim or interest, even if a possible claim in the property, which is acknowledged by the parties to the settlement, will be sufficient. So they must have some interest in the asset of the property or a claim in the family. So completely outsider cannot part of the family arrangement. The consideration of the entering into the family arrangement should be preservation of the family property, preservation of the peace and the honor of the family, and avoidance of litigation. There is a famous judgment of Supreme Court, Kale versus Deputy Director of Consolidation, 1976, AIR, Supreme Court 807. So basically, family peace is sufficient consideration. We don't want to fight. We want peace in the family, maintain the harmony in the family. And for that purpose, equal, unequal, whatever we are giving, that is called family. Family, I will tell you simple meaning, general knowledge of family meaning. For example, we are 4 brothers. And we are all joint. A Bombay house where I stay belong to my mother. My brother stay in Calcutta. That house belong to me. My father is in Rajasthan. That house belong to my another brother. My wife Julie is lying with my mother. My brother Julie is lying with my brother's wife. And there is a complete khichdi. The under family arrangement, what we normally call, everything, whatever is there in the family, put in a common pool. Include banyan and underwear, be common pool mein rakh diya. Then we distribute. So distribution mein kya hoga? I may get my thing which I put there, or I may get somebody else's thing also which I put there. So whatever I am getting, what I have put, that is already in my name, so nothing is to be done. Whatever is belong to my brother and I got it, and whatever belong to me, somebody else has got it. So that documentation is to be done for the transfer of property. Family arrangement is the document in which you agree to transfer. You not transferred anything. Family arrangement, you have 2 types. One family arrangement, we say, oh, this asset will go to so-and-so person, this asset will go to so-and-so person. And we make a document, which is called a family settlement deed, like a partition deed. That has to be registered. And there again, stamp duty is applicable. Highest share fee, remaining by 2%. But normally what we do in practice, and then you have to pay stamp duty on everything, all the items, excluding 1 share. But normally what we do, we say, but yesterday we have orally family partition had taken place. Family arrangement is already taken place yesterday. We have decided what is to be given to whom. Today we are simply recording. We are not transferring anything. We are recording, so at least family members are binding. They know they have taken decision. So they cannot back out at least. They are binding on only family arrangement. Family members. And later on when properties are transferred, that will be subject to stamp duty or whatever rule is applicable. For as far as income tax is concerned, no income tax is applicable in a family arrangement. Cost of earlier owner is the cost of the present owner. Date of acquisition of earlier owner is date of acquisition of the present owner. So same system continue what we have discussed in HUF, same apply to family arrangement also.
So लेकिन फैमिली अरेंजमेंट की जो डीड होती है उसको हमको इनकम टैक्स में सबमिट करनी पड़ेगी.
हाँ करनी पड़ेगी ना. आइटम मांगेगा तो देंगे. चलो फेसलेस में हो गया सब कुछ, स्टूडेंट होती नहीं. अगर स्टूडेंट में आएगा मांगेगा तो देंगे. Antecedent, title, claim or interest or even in the possible claim, which you already I have told you 6 conditions. Each item I have elaborated again. What is that? Then in the case of Rohan Singh versus Jille Singh, the Supreme Court held that parties of the family arrangement set up computing to the properties and they are adjusted in right party. By family arrangement, it was intended to set, well, the whole idea, they can distribute in whatever way they want actually. Department cannot ask why you given him 100% or why you given him only 2%. Because that is family member have to decide what is in their favor and what is their good and what is harmony good for their family. Even Mohammedan law also family arrangement is applicable. Whether registration or document is required for the effective family arrangement. Now actually what happened, Indian Registration Act, I think 1888 or 1806, there under section 17(1)(b), family arrangement is excluded from registering the document. It is optional, rather not excluded. I will say it's optional. If somebody want to register, no problem. But then you have to explain to the registrar, no property has been distributed. The only one type of arrangement has been committed. and stamp duty is applicable, which is the law also. But sometimes, it is very difficult to explain to registrar. And after understanding also, he may not understand. So that is another bit headache. So according to, as for oral arrangement, because stamp duty is applicable as per the Schedule 1 of the Stamp Act. I am talking about Maharashtra only. The same applied to maybe Bangalore, maybe Bengal. If any item which is not included in the Schedule 1, in the 62 items, those items are not liable to pay the stamp duty. Similarly, when our income tax, we have 6 head of income. And whatever item is covered under 6 head of income is taxable income. Any item which will not fit in this is not taxable. Like damages. I purchased a flat from builder. Builder not given me possession. I got certain damages from him. It is exempted. Earlier, tenancy right was also exempted because law was amended in 95. So similarly, many things are even today exempted. So exceptions are there. Painting and road permit and loom permit and tenancy right, goodwill. Those are exceptions. Otherwise, if it will not fit in those exceptions, then it is exempted even on today. So similar way, so this family arrangement is not covered under the 62 entry of the Schedule 1 of the Stamp Act. So no stamp duty is applicable. So, but if you want to register, so section 17(1)(b) of Indian Registration Act also say that in the family arrangement, no property is transferred as such. Only commitment has been committed. This property will go to so-and-so, this will go to so-and-so, this will go to so-and-so. So no stamp duty and no registration is required. And stamp duty of 500 rupees, so every document required, whatever we make, minimum stamp duty 500. Even letter of authority, when we attend before the tribunal or CITPL or AO, that time also, if you take a letter of authority from client, that is also 500 stamp paper in Maharashtra. So that minimum 500 rupees has to be paid. So recording of oral family arrangement. But if you say family arrangement, state when distribute the asset, then of course it is to be registered. So normally we write recording of oral family arrangement taken place yesterday. Property transferred under deed, registration required if property is transferred. But if only commitment has been committed, then no. Similar way, cooperative society. In Maharashtra, particularly in Bombay, I am talking, the same maybe Gujarat, Bengal also, Calcutta or Madras or whatever. Here also, whenever you buy some flat in a cooperative housing society, cooperative premises society, cooperative plot society, you don't have to register. Section 41 of Maharashtra Cooperative Society Act says any transaction, purchase or sale is exempted in registering. You are liable to pay stamp duty because certain amendment were there with 9 December 1985. But otherwise, registration is still optional. And Bombay High Court have decided in case of Usha Arvind Dongre, registration is optional. So same principle apply here because there also what is the principle? You are not selling an immovable property. You are selling shares of a cooperative society. Who is the owner of immovable property? By buying the shares of a society, I will not become owner. Owner is society is owner. I purchase simply 5 shares, so I have right to use and occupy that property. If I don't pay society charges, society all right to take the vacant position from me. So similar way, registration was optional there. But when we take the bank loan, bank insists for registration. So we normally get it registered. And now property value also gone up so much. And registration fees is simply 30,000 rupees in Maharashtra. Bengal may be less. Why I say? Because when some at the time after the death of a person, if there is a will and we apply for a probate, in Maharashtra we have to pay 75,000 rupee fees as a probate fees. Bengal may it is 50,000. Tamil Nadu it is 25,000. Other part of our country it is completely free or very nominal amount. Or the probate is not even required. Nobody understands the probate. But 3 places, so similar way I assume that registration fees Maharashtra may 30,000, so definitely Bengal may it will be less. But whenever I sell land and building, bungalow with the plot, bungalow with the bungalow with the land, that is the land I am selling. That land belongs to me and I am selling. There, of course, registration is a must. So similar way, in the case of our family settlement deed, if assets are simply allocated, no stamp duty, no registration. Assets are divided, transferred, title is transferred, then yes, registration. But again, you to divide the asset your cooperative society, then no registration. Immovable property like bungalow, land and building, agricultural land, then yes, registration. So depend upon case to case. Common property which belong to the family or acquired by the family fund. Self-acquired property is a separate item. Like for example, I have purchased one property in my name out of my income, and I make family settlement. And simply one property is involved, and I give that property to my brother. This will not fall in a family settlement. This will fall in a simply transaction of a gift which attracts stamp duty, or simply transaction of a sale or exchange or whatever other mode. Not a family settlement means I am giving something to my brother is giving something to me, or there is a common hodgepodge in the property, and there is a complete khichdi, so there is a complete family involved. That is called family settlement. Individually, my giving one property to my brother is not a family settlement. But for example, my brother is giving his property to me, I am giving my property to him, some other things are also involved in between, then yes, then it will be family settlement. Now, family arrangement is writing is which property transfer registration must. Property transfer. Stamp duty already explained to you, one share exempted. In case property, it is not commitment, but really property is transferred, then one share will be exempted and remaining it will be 2%. There also we give 2% to 99%. Then of course that part will be exempted. Only remaining portion you to pay 2%. Then again that person will give back to you in individual capacity. Then again it will come. So all depend upon how you want to distribute. But whenever a document, for example, let us assume registration is required, and you are not registered it, still the document have value. If that family member cannot claim that it is not registered, so I will not give you the property. Because that document, unregistered document, unstamped document also have a value. And there are a number of decisions of Supreme Court. But you will not get the title. When you want to sell or want to take a loan from the bank, then you may not get. But otherwise, unregistered document also have a title. 1966 Supreme Court 836, Maruti Pulla versus Maruti Nasimha. So unregistered document also have the same value, but that is title is not clear. Then friends, recording of the oral family, I told you beginning, man. So then, oral it is agreed. Today we are recording of the oral family arrangement. It taken place yesterday. So registration is out, stamp duty out. Peace and harmony to avoid future dispute is sufficient consideration. And there are a number of decisions on that issue. So what you have to prove it is a proper family arrangement? Yes, sir, we achieved the peace. Otherwise, chances of dispute was there. To maintain the harmony and peace in the family is very important criteria. Whether money is secondary criteria. So, and that we have achieved. So that is sufficient consideration. Under family arrangement, I told you, no assets are transferred, it's simply allocated, and commitment is there. And a family settlement is have value in eye of law, so one can file case against other family member. But as per family arrangement, if assets are divided, then matter end only, which I will tell you little later. Let me just finish this. Then how in case, this is the one document we make only family arrangement deed or family settlement deed. But in case we want to do something more, then what is to be done? Then we have to make 4 documents, which I will tell you little just now. Whether distribution of asset among the members of the family amount to transfer pursuant to the amended definition of term transfer. Means agar family settlement mein you have paid the stamp duty and registered and property are transferred, then of course property will be your property. Otherwise commitment and normal document is to be drafted again. Whether HUF can receive gift, yes, no problem, I told you. Whether HUF can give gift, yes, reasonable on the family occasion. Property was in the name of HUF by court order. It was transferred in the name of the wife. HUF is filing the return. Income from house property. Property was sold in 1314 and consideration was received by the wife. Document in the name of HUF. If HUF continue and money is received by any of the family member and property belong to the HUF and the family member is received, then the family member has to transfer property, that consideration back to the HUF. If partition has taken place, the asset is received by that person, then they belong to him, he or her only. His or her. Who is liable to pay capital gain tax? Now, if property belong to HUF, money belong to the HUF, property was simply name of one of the co-partners, then HUF is liable to pay the tax. If partition had taken place, or when partial partition was allowed at that time, partition had taken place, partial partition, or HUF is not access to income tax and partial partition had taken place, and then the property belonged to individual that person or his another subsidiary HUF, then that party will pay the tax. Then main parent HUF is not liable to pay the tax. Then, friend, when we discuss about the family arrangement, here I will add one more point. If family arrangement may we make one settlement deed, one family arrangement deed, all the family members' name comes, party of name, address, age, and what is what is the status of the person, who is that? Is the head of the family, or son, or daughter-in-law, or grandchildren. That identification. So one whole page goes with that only. Party of the first part, second part, third part, fourth part, five part, like 20 party, then 20 part will be there. So that is one part. Second, we write all the assets of the family. HUF and individual, movable property, immovable property. But you have to write your asset only. You cannot write asset of a private limited company. You cannot write asset of a partnership firm. There simply we can say, if family is the owner of a partnership firm, number so and so, where these are the partners. Or we are the owner of a company so and so, where these are the shareholders and their percentage. Asset of a company or partnership firm need not be mentioned in the family arrangement. Then after writing all the movable property, all the immovable property, we say how you want to distribute. So there 20 parties are there. Party number 1, which movable property will get, which immovable property will get. Party number 2, similar way all 20 parties. If somebody will not get anything, then we say nil. So that way, then you to count all the 20 parties asset, what they are getting, and what is the total asset. For example, total assets are 50 in number. Then whether all 50 has been allocated or no. As far as partnership firms are concerned, that we write separate schedule. And partnership firm simply will say so and so person will retire from so and so firm, so and so person will join so and so firm. Asset will be not distributed. Because now section 45, section 43, section 9A, B, many sections have come where partnership firm also in case of retirement is liable to pay tax. Provided some asset are given to somebody or some money has been given more than what is required. So you to make sure that capital remains same. The person who goes out of the family take only that capital, not taking anything extra. No property is taken. If he take the property from partnership firm, he is liable to pay tax there only. Firm is liable to pay tax. In some cases, the tax is double than the firm has to pay their own capital gain tax, and firm has to pay excess given to the partner, his capital gain tax also. Partner is not liable, but firm is liable. Similar way, company may be asset or owner of a few assets. You can't distribute the asset of the company. You can allocate the share. This share will be transferred to this family. So that family will be owner of this company. Other family will transfer shares of that company to me. So I become owner. But for example, assets are such that the company have only one property. And you can't give to one family. It has to be divided. Then, of course, normal our capital gain tax or gift tax or whatever tax, though gift tax is not there after 98, but normal section 56 to 10 or all section will be applicable. The company may first need to see object whether the company can give gift of the asset or not. If they can give, then of course, because I had a very big case few years back, Kantilal, Maganlal, and they had only big company, Dustam in Bombay only, and they divided the asset. Plot was worth more than 2,000 crore. And of course, we have that time client have done another family settlement only. But matter went up to the tribunal and high court, and finally it was settled that you are liable to pay the gift tax. That's all. And gift tax was also 30% in that period, so we paid that 30%. So one has to see those angles also. But individually, my property can go to my brother, my brother's property can come to me. My wife's property can go to my mother's property can come to my wife, and family member, it can be. So that is called family settlement. Now, friends, we come to the trust. Normally, there are two types of trust. One is a charitable trust, one is a family trust. Again, charitable trust में there is religious trust, and another activity wala trust, religious with temple, church, masjid, gurdwara, whatever we call. And another charitable trust for the purpose of education, medical, yoga, help to the poor and needy, and various other things are there. So,
Sir, I have one question regarding this family arrangement. Suppose a company is holding company in which shares are held, and the company has to give shares in any case. So how the company become part of the family arrangement?
Company will not become part, but family में asset में तो आएगा नहीं. We are owner of this company. So share will be transferred by one person to another person. And if transfer for less than market value or more than market value, then of course under section 56(2 उसमें cover हो जाएगा relatives में.
But that is because of the decision of the Bombay Tribunal that company cannot be part of the family arrangement.
No, there's no decision come in the picture. नहीं decision के बाद ही company है, समझो a company, correct? Let us say Reliance Industry. My family have say 20 lakh shares in the Reliance. So we say we have 20 lakh shares in the Reliance Industry. The 20 lakh share either as on today 10 lakh belong to me, 10 lakh belong to my brother. And my family decided that everything go to my brother. So I will transfer my 10 lakh share to him as a gift or whatever we decide.
Oh, that is fine. But suppose company has company is holding company. Company shares, how the company how to get the shares from the company? That has to be share transaction or not, otherwise it's not possible.
I have not followed what you are saying actually. We are holding share of a company, company separate entity.
Yeah, separate.
Let us say there are two companies in our family, one company A, one company B.
Yeah.
And as on today, all family members are the shareholder of A company, all family members are the shareholder of B company. Now,
but suppose company holds shares of another company.
Company holds share of another company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then how do those shares can come into the hands of the individual members?
Company holds shares of another company, so those shares will remain with the company only. Any person who take over of this company will owner of those shares.
What is the remedy? There is no remedy
for what?
So how to go? Because that is family is also a part of the family arrangement. I want to make the family.
Anyway, we'll deal separately, sir. I got confused. The question is also not clear. We'll talk separately, individually. You can call me tomorrow.
Okay.
Otherwise, no, we'll be wasting half an hour and my whole thing will remain pending.
Okay. Thank you.
Or end may time permit, we will let us elaborate more on that. Because I handled one case of, Kantilal Maganlal, company's name was, I don't know, forgotten. Not Rustam Mill Ahmedabad ka tha. Some company was there when Maganlal and Kantilal both were the partner, and they divided the asset of that company because that was the only big company. And accordingly, matter went to the Bombay High Court. Finally, that Kantilal was assessed to Ahmedabad earlier. So first tribunal decided in Ahmedabad, then matter came. In the meantime, they shifted to Bombay, so matter came to Bombay, and Bombay High Court said you are liable to pay gift tax. Company is liable to pay gift tax. The half property remained in the company, so that one brother has taken over the company. Remaining half property was transferred to my client Kantilal. So company paid gift tax on that half share. So I was on the trust. So there is a charitable trust. I told you, religious and other education and medical and other thing. And second is the family trust. Now classification according to the evidence of trust. So trust can be written as well as oral. But normally oral trust, income tax is not recognized that way. So what we'll say, let us talk about written trust only. So if I want to make a family trust, let us talk about family trust first. So I will settle one trust. I will become the settler. Say I want to transfer 5 lakh rupee to my trust, and later on, as per my will, I will transfer more money. I say the trust will be for the benefit of me, my children, my wife. So that is called family benefit, family trust. Trust will do the business or whatever conditions are there. If a trust will do the business, then trust is liable to pay tax at the rate of maximum whatever is applicable. If trust will do only interest income, then individual rate applicable. If my share of beneficiary is fixed, you all are get whatever income come during the year, 25% will be given to all 4%. Then trust will not pay the tax. It will go to the individual, and it will pay the tax other than business income. And if our share is not fixed, we say depending upon the requirement of person, it will be given for purpose of medical or education or whatever. Trustee will decide how to be given and whom to be given and when to be given and how much is to be given. Then trust will pay maximum rate of tax. So that is known as a family trust, like an individual, but rate of tax depend upon individual or a maximum rate of tax. Second thing will be a charitable trust. Now charitable trust, let us say bigger heading. So somebody will settle the trust. Minimum there will be 2 trustees. If they want to make a society, then of course there is a 7 trustee, 7 member, 7 committee member, executive member. But let us talk about ordinary trust only. The 2 trustees, they will write the amount, how much the settler is giving to the trust, maybe 1 lakh, 2 lakh to start with, because first amount may stamp duty is also applicable. Later on, you give no income tax applicable, no stamp duty applicable after registration. So you start with 5 lakh or 11 lakh. Then trust is formed. Object is written. Full rules and regulations are defined. Important. Otherwise, normal Public Trust Act will be applicable. And we apply to the charity commissioner for registration. Charity commissioner, after doing all paperwork, give advertisement in the 2 newspapers. This trust have come for registration. If anyone have any objection, they can object. But normally nobody object. After that, formality is over. Charity commissioner register and give a certificate of incorporation. Now, but the certificate of registration, once you receive, then we apply to income tax commissioner for registration under section 12A. And now the all old trust, wherever trust was there, registered 50 years back or 100 years back or 2 years back, all have applied recently fresh. And each and every trust has been given registration and ATG also. Earlier, those trusts who were not given ATG because of various reasons have also been given now. Just now they give everything is provisional only. Now they will give final after verification and everything. But at least provisional is also valid for 3 years. They've written clearly on the certificate, valid for 3 years. And of course, I don't know, Calcutta, in Bombay, what we are getting is 3 years. Then income tax commissioner will register. He take normally 1 or 2 months. He do his homework. And after income tax commissioner registration, we apply for ATG. ATG certificate comes, then you can accept the donation. Person you give donation will get the deduction. You will get a deduction of 10% of gross total income and exceeding 50% of whatever the as per ATG rule that will apply. That on capital gain, that deduction is not there. Otherwise, everything, all asset, it is income, it is there. And we have to file every year return. We have to file charity commissioner also every year return. And same line, section 25 companies are also there. Now section 8 is called under Companies Act. That also object is charitable trust. On same line, something plus minus, society also can be formed. So, but a lot of planning can be done. And let me give you an example on the state way. One of my clients, he was a member of parliament. He's a builder of Bombay, one of the prominent builder of Bombay. His daughter-in-law, even today, is the MLA of the government of Maharashtra. Now, he had a lot of money. He wanted to divide money, and his standard of living is also very high. In Bombay, he having bungalow, very nice bungalow, maybe running into 30-40,000 square feet. He had very similar bungalow in Rajasthan. And maintenance of that bungalow also cost him nearly crore rupee in Bombay and another 50 lakh in Rajasthan. So he is sure that after his death, his 2 children will not maintain this big bungalow and spend crores of rupees just in maintaining the bungalow. So what he has done, he has planned everything. Other children also have a lot of wealth. Nobody depending upon father's wealth. So he made a 10 trust, even today, especially 8 trusts in his lifetime with a corpus of 10 lakh each just now. And in will he made a provision. Let us start with first trust. First trust he made is the say family trust. There he started just now 10 lakh rupee. Trust is registered with charity commissioner, income tax commissioner everywhere. And he said after his death, 50 crore, his wealth is nearly more than 1,000 crore. But out of that, 500 crore is liquidity. So 550 crore will go to this trust. Money will be kept in the bank. Out of bank interest, all family expenditure will be incurred. Medical, education, this, that, everything. No other, nobody can use other than these objects. Only kitchen expenditure, medical expenditure, children's education, higher education, lower education, or whatever they want. Limited to this. Another trust he made, Bombay Bungalow Trust. There also 10 lakh transferred, 10 crore will come later on, and they're maintaining only Bombay Bungalow. Similar way, Rajasthan Bungalow, another 10 crore. This is Rajasthan Bungalow Trust. One we form business trust that 100 crore will be transferred. Just now we transferred 10 lakh, 100 crore will be transferred after his death. And children can borrow the money from that trust at the rate of 3% per annum, but they have to pay back. It is not that children withdraw and use it. They have to pay back 3% interest. So they know, okay, they have to borrow money from the trust and they have to pay back. So trust will continue forever. So then he made one trust called political trust. He very fond of politics. He have a political party also in Rajasthan. Every election, all 187 candidates are standing 5-6 win also. So he made one political trust. He say, today I'm transferring 10 lakh. And after my death, as per my will, 100 crore will come to political trust, and the trustee will be allowed only to give political donations to any party, whatever they like. So that trust. So the 5 trust is the for a family. 3 trust is made for a charitable purpose. One is the Kalakar trust. Anyone who come to become film star or TV star, for them 10 crore will be transferred. Then income will be used only there. One is medical and education trust. That money will be used only for the purpose of medical and education. And third is a cricket trust. So like that way they made 8 trusts. So lifetime trust can also, but under the will, if I want to make a trust, I can make only one. I can form number of trusts today. After my death, money can be transferred there. But if I want to make a trust under the will, my fund after my death, till today I have not formed any trust, and I just say after my death, this much money will go to the trust for the benefit of my family. Then I can form only one trust under there. So I cannot form multiple trusts. But in lifetime, I can make multiple trusts and give direction to the executor to transfer this much money to this trust. Now, friends, classification according to the beneficiary, public trust, private trust, and combined trust. I already told you. There can be one type of there can be one trust where private as well as public trust is combined. I have not seen such trust, but under the law, it is prescribed. I can say 50% will be used for my family member, 50% will be used for the purpose of charity. So that what will happen, the private trust will pay the tax. And charitable trust separately will be registered, part of it, and then will be exemption will be claimed, whatever is applicable. Business trust or non-business trust. Many trusts is formed for the purpose as an association. Indian Merchant Chamber, All India Business Council, Chamber of the Zone, Chamber of this. So they are, of course, like they are charitable trust type of thing. Their aim is not to make profit, to serve the members. So maturity concept also come, and they are such trust is also exempted. But if they are doing any business activity, then that part will be taxable. Object of trust could be charitable, religious, otherwise. Charitable, I told you, relief to poor, education, medical, preservation of environment, including watershed, forest, and wildlife, preservation of the momentum, yoga, oral trust may exemption for the charity income tax card section 10(11) is not allowed. Private trust may, again family trust 11(12) benefit is not allowed. Public charitable trust, yes, it is allowed, subject to fulfillment of certain condition. But trustee is not going to take benefit. Combined trust of public cum private trust, exemption 10(11) is allowed in respect of the public portion, subject to fulfillment of certain condition. So audit, etc., all will be there. Now, recently, after last 2 years, we have seen refund is coming very fast. So that is a good sign. 264 order, whenever you apply under 264 or you apply under 273A petition, a waiver of interest and penalty. Earlier, it take years and years. I remember it. What application we made in 1970 till today, I have not seen the order. 50 years are over practically. So, but now 264 and 273A law prescribed that they have to dispose of within 1 year. Of course, amendment was in last year, but that is also good sign. So at least we know where we stand. Further action is to be filed it against the 264 in High Court or 273A ke samne severity or High Court. So we can take a call. So those are the good area. Whenever ITO makes some wrong addition, recently I remember one of my client case, I shown income of 80 lakh rupee. ITO computed 150 crore without any application of mine, and CRT will delete it. So much harassment. So such cases we can apply to high pitch committee. High pitch committee consists of CBDT chairman, 2 members of the CBDT, 2 chief commissioner, and they decide. And if they feel appropriate wrong addition has been made, then of course they cannot give direction to give you relief. They will simply write to CITP to dispose of this appeal within 15 days or 30 days or 60 days. An officer who passed the wrong order will be transferred immediately to some another area. So that also wrong additions are nowadays faceless. Up to February, the faceless maybe assessments were good. Actually, no wrong addition was made. But March, it will become horrible. Appeal on 9-10 item. Department issued one circular. They were decided 9 to 10 item. With this type of item, irrespective of amount, because Supreme Court and High Court have decided in favor. High Court have decided in favor and department not file appeal in Supreme Court, so they accepted it. Or Supreme Court had decided in favor and law is not amended. It means they accepted it. So in that 9 area, irrespective of amount, whatever the demand, department withdrawn the appeal. If 50 lakh, 1 crore, 2 crore, nahi. Whatever the demand, they withdrawn. So that is also litigation will reduce substantially now. Department appeal reduced. Earlier in Bombay terminal, 50,000 appeals were pending 7-8 years back. And now today we see less than 10,000. So when you file the appeal, whatever appeals are filed in month of January, February, March, April, they are already fixed actually in May. So very fast disposal is taking place. So that is good sign again. And CIT appeal, whatever appeals you file in January, February, March, April, those appeals are already fixed by CIT appeal in faceless. But those appeal which is heard 2 years back in lockdown period, those still are pending. Now here, friends, let me add, once we are on the HUF and family arrangement, let us see about individual also. HUF already told you how partition take place, equal, unequal, this, that, all, full partition. Now individual also, a person make a will, then asset will be divided as per the will. Sometime immovable property is there, then court may insist for the probate, the society or whatever. But in case death is certain in life, nobody knows when person will die. So if somebody dies without making a will, then what will happen? Under Hindu Succession Act 1956, there are class 1 heir is defined. If class 1 may it is not there, then it fall in class 2. So how it will be decided? If will is not there, then how it will be decided? So class 1 may, for example, I dies, then my asset will go to my wife, son, daughter, and my mother. All equally will get it. I have 2 sons, then of course 2 will be counted 2. My daughters are 2, yes, counted 2. Mother 1. But for example, my wife is 2, then her share will be counted only 1, and both lady will share their things. Of course, Hindu law, the wife is not, 2 wife is not allowed after 1956. But even then, with the permission, somebody is married or whatever is there, the wife share only will be 1. If 1 wife, 1 share. 2 wife, then also 1 share. 3 wife, then also 1 share. So will be divided that way. If some girl is there in living relationship and she is not married, she will not get anything. Rajesh Khanna's good example is there. Child born out of that illegal relationship will get her full share at par with your children. And if there is no will, in case I have no relative, my wife is not there, my son is not there, daughter is not there, mother already passed away, then after my death, class 2 will come in the picture. Because nobody is there in the class. Class 2 may everything will go to my father. My mother is already covered in class 1. So if mother is not there, then only father will come in the picture. Then everything will go to father. If my father is also dead, then my brother and sister equally. If I have no brother and sister, the granddaughter, grandchildren, daughter's grandchildren, son's grandchildren will come in class 1. But daughter's daughter will come in class 1. Daughter's grandchildren will come in class 2. Then if they are also not there, then my dada and dadi. If they are also not there, then my father got married second time, then my stepmother. My biological mother will come in class 1. If they are also not there, then widow of my brothers. If they are also not there, then my uncle, my auntie, it will go to that. My father's brother and sister equally. Then they are also not there, then their children. If they are also not there, then I have to go to my mother's side. My mother's parent. Mother parents also passed away. Then my mother's brother and sister. If they also passed away, then their children. If they have also passed away, it means nobody is there in my life. No, Nanyal side में कोई नहीं है, मेरी side में कोई नहीं है, मेरा family में कोई नहीं है. Then all asset will go to President of India. So if there is no will, if I make a will, I give to my relative, I give to my friend, I can give to charity, I do whatever I want. So that is the benefit of a will. Will may I can give, disproportion, whatever I want. That is my money, I can do whatever I want. I think friends, HUF is over. Will का the topic independent बड़ा topic हो जाएगा. I don't want to take your time on that, but we can take question answer whatever is there. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
ये जो चैट बॉक्स में क्वेश्चन आए वो टेकअप कर लेता हूँ.
हाँ sir, हाँ sir.
The first question is from Aarti Ganesh. Sir, if a father is having a married son and married daughter, and the father is forming a HUF now, who will be the co-progenitor of that HUF?
All son, daughter, and wife.
But wife is only member, na? Can member be co-progenitor?
Co-partner, son and daughter. Only wife will get actually बोलने के लिए member है, but whenever participant takes, will get equal amount. So son and daughter will be that.
Okay, sir. Next question is from Pooja Goyal. An NRI is shifted back to India. He wants to open a HUF. Can he do so?
Yes, sir. If HUF is already not there, he can do by taking a gift of 10,000 from somebody. He can do, provided he has got one son.
Second question is from her only. Can second wife of Karta become member of the HUF?
Second wife of Karta means first wife is passed away. It means if legal wife is there, then
Not
yes.
clear.
Legal wife is there, then yes. और live in relationship होगा तो नहीं होगा.
Yes, sir. From Nagul N, sir, to form an HUF through a will, should the will be mentioning the name of the Karta or should it specifically say HUF in it?
नहीं, specifically to be said, Mr. So and so HUF.
Okay. So another question from Mr. Rajendra Kumar: is it mandatory to file full partition of HUF under Section 170? That you explained. It is.
Yeah, full partition after 78.
Is it online or physical filing, sir? If you can guide us, sir.
Both is allowed now. Now everything is online. So online, a safe side, we do file online and send one by courier also. Okay. So next question from Jayan Bhayati: can Karta or any other member give gift to his HUF without attracting clubbing provision? Sir, clubbing provision तो आपको देखना ही पड़ेगा. 64 में जो करता है is giving and indirectly HUF तो कुछ है नहीं. वो दे किसको रहा है? वाइफ को, माइनर बच्चों को. मेजर बच्चे हैं तो क्लब नहीं लगेगा. वाइफ का शेयर क्लब होगा तो कॉम्प्लिकेटेड ही हो जाएगा. अच्छा. या वो लेके ऐसी जगह इन्वेस्ट करे जिसका इनकम ही नहीं आ रहा है तो देयर नो प्रॉब्लम. तो सर नॉर्मली जैसे हम लोग HUF क्रिएट करते हैं उसमें कैपिटल कैसे बिल्डअप करेगा? हम लोग गिफ्ट ले बाहर वाले से, मेरे भाई से मैं ले लेता हूँ, मेरे भाई से ले सकता हूँ, मामा से ले सकता हूँ, काका से ले सकता हूँ, फ्रेंड से ले सकता हूँ, लोन दे सकता हूँ मैं विदाउट इंटरेस्ट मेरी ओन कैपिटल में से. What is the fate of income tax, Mr. Rajendra? What is the fate of income tax paid but no credit has been given by AO in 2009 and CPC? I think this is an irrelevant question. This is not. इसमें जाओ नहीं, CP ग्राम में बराबर मिल जाएगा. हमारा भी बहुत, मैं एक्चुअली आई एम मेंबर ऑफ स्टैंडिंग कमेटी ऑफ TDS. कोई प्रॉब्लम आता है तो एक्चुअली यू फाइल बेटर इन CP ग्राम 1 लेटर, एक्शन हो जाएगा. CP ग्राम में देने के बाद नहीं होता है तो नरेंद्र मोदी प्राइम मिनिस्टर के ऑफिस में अलग विंग है. राइट ऑन ईमेल टू प्राइम मिनिस्टर, इमीडिएट एक्शन हो जाएगा. इमीडिएटली राइट विंग में चला जाएगा. आपका चीफ कमिश्नर का फोन आएगा, आपको आ जाओ जल्दी. अरे सर एक दो प्रॉब्लम हम लोग फेस कर रहे हैं अपील के. कैसे पहले जो अपील जो फाइल हुई थी जिसको ये लोग अपडेट किए हैं इसमें ई पोर्टल में, तो बहुत सारे अपील उसमें अपलोड ही नहीं हुई है. उनको कुछ आता पता ही नहीं है. हाँ तो लेटर लिख दो ना, अपील का पेपर लगा के. अच्छा. एक कंप्लेंट जैसा डाल दो CP ग्राम में, या कमिश्नर जिसके यहाँ फाइल किया था उसके चीफ कमिश्नर किसके अंडर में आता है. बिकॉज बहुत सारे केस है वो अभी भी अपलोड कर लेंगे, अभी भी कर लेंगे. उनके पास फाइल ही नहीं मिल रहा होगा, अपना जो पेपर जाएगा कॉपी उसको ही कर देंगे. खाली वो टप्पे वाला कॉपी हो गई, कभी आपने फाइल किया. बस वही है सर. हाउ कैन मेंबर विथड्रॉ मनी फ्रॉम HUF विदाउट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन? लोन ले सकते हैं. Is it mandatory that a nephew supersedes his elder uncle and also competent to act, but hiding the facts he act as karta? नहीं, वो तो इलीगल हो जाएगा. विद कंसेंट ऑफ ऑल द फैमिली मेंबर यस, पर हाइडिंग करके करेगा तो इलीगल हो जाएगा. हाँ, इलीगल हो जाएगा. कल उसने वो लॉस किया होगा तो उसके गले पड़ जाएगा, फायदा किया होगा तो HUF को बिलोंग करेगा. सर एक दो क्वेश्चन और है. जैसे HUF के केस में जो प्रोफेशनल बहुत सारे कमीशन इनकम वगैरह दिखाते हैं, आपने कहा था कि वो आड़तिया हो सकता है, एजेंट कमीशन एजेंट हो सकता है. लेकिन मतलब जो पहले अपन तो नहीं, चलो बहुत सारे लोग क्या करते थे, बोगस कमीशन लेते थे 31 मार्च को, वो HUF में एडवाइजेबल नहीं है. पर रियल बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, प्रोप्राइटरी फर्म है, एचयूएफ के नाम से कर रहे हैं, रियल जेन्युइन बिजनेस है, देन इट्स ओके।
Sir, what will be status of HUF if only one member remains? Suppose कोई
वो मेल मेंबर रहेगा तो
हाँ।
एचयूएफ कंटिन्यू रहेगा, वो आदमी कभी भी शादी कर सकता है तो फैमिली बढ़ जाएगी।
ओके सर।
लेकिन अगर फीमेल रहेगा तो उसके इंडिविजुअल में चला जाएगा।
Suppose in case only two female members remain, can they continue the HUF?
या वन फीमेल रहेगा तो इंडिविजुअल में चला जाएगा। अब 2 फीमेल रहेंगी तो भी उनका ऑप्शन है, दे वांट टू कंटिन्यू, द मदर कैन ऑलवेज अडॉप्ट सन, और दे वांट टू डिसॉल्व देन 50-50 डिवाइड भी कर सकते हैं, उनके ऊपर डिपेंड है। अदरवाइज लेडी कैन ऑलवेज अडॉप्ट अ सन, तो एचओ कंटिन्यू हो जाएगा।
So next question, what happens if single co-partner with no male member acquires the property?
सिंगल को-पार्टनर एंड
with no male member, और कोई मेल मेंबर नहीं है सर, सिर्फ सिंगल को-पार्टनर।
तो उसके इंडिविजुअल में चला जाएगा पूरा, लेडी बच गई इसका मतलब।
हाँ,
अगर लेडी है तो उसके इंडिविजुअल में आ जाएगा।
Can female member give her property with HUF to HUF या blend her property with HUF?
वो सेक्शन 64 ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, बाकी कोई प्रॉब्लम
का ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा। यस सर। So what will be the position of daughter after marriage?
सी हैव राइट नहीं, मैंने बताया नहीं, 9 सितंबर के बाद लॉ अमेंडमेंट हो गया है। डॉटर है वो इक्वल राइट विद एट पार्ट विद द सन। बहुत सारे लड़के टेंशन में आ गए थे, मेरी सिस्टर क्लेम करेगी, तो मैं मजाक में उसको बोलता था तेरी सिस्टर ले गई लेकिन तेरी वाइफ भी लेके आएगी, वो भी उधर मेंबर है वापस।
Next question, can an adopted son become co-partner?
Adopted son, yes. Properly adopted, yes.
Yes. That's the question. Anybody else has got any question? They can ask.
स्टेप सन भी हो सकता है क्या मेंबर?
सॉरी सर,
स्टेप सन?
स्टेप सन मतलब दूसरी वाइफ का बच्चा, करेक्ट?
हाँ।
मतलब मैंने शादी की दूसरी बार, हाँ। उससे बच्चा हुआ, वो तो मेरा ही बच्चा हुआ। स्टेप स्टेप मतलब मैंने जिस लेडी से शादी की सेकंड टाइम, वो बच्चा लेके आई साथ में।
हाँ हाँ,
वो नहीं हो सकता है।
वो नहीं हो सकता। ही इज नॉट अ को-पार्टनर।
नो नो नो। लेकिन मैंने सेकंड शादी की और मेरे बच्चा हो गया, वो होएगा, वो तो डेफिनेटली पार्ट ऑफ मी।
एक तीसरा सर, एचयूएफ के जब हम लोग क्रिएट करते हैं तो पैन कार्ड में डेट ऑफ इनकॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ एचयूएफ क्या रहता है?
डेट ऑफ मैरिज, डेट ऑफ मैरिज, डेट ऑफ मैरिज,
ऑलवेज डेट ऑफ मैरिज।
7 फेरा पूरा हो गया। एक केस आया था बहुत अच्छा, मद्रास का हाईकोर्ट का था, पता नहीं किसका था। एक लेडी ने शादी की कोर्ट में जाके, हस्बैंड दोनों शादी किया, एचओ बना दिया, शादी के लिए हनीमून में गए, हनीमून जाने के पहले, हनीमून के पहले ही उनका डाइवर्स भी हो गया, और एचओ उसका कंटिन्यू रहा।
ओके
सर, डाइवर्स होने के बाद तो वो मेंबर रह नहीं गई फिर?
वो रहेगी नहीं, पर आदमी एचओ कंटिन्यू करेगा ना। वो लेडी क्लेम तो कर ही सकती है ना, एक बार शादी हो गया तो क्लेम तो करेगी। तो वो तो नॉर्मली आउट ऑफ कोर्ट सेटलमेंट होता ही है, शादी में जो भी लमसम दिया होगा उसको। पर एचओ की फाइल उसके पास इंटैक्ट थी और वो कभी भी सेकंड शादी कर ही सकता है, तो एचओ की फाइल चालू हो गई। तो शादी तो नहीं, फायदा नहीं हुआ, लेकिन उसका एचओ का फाइल तो खड़ा हो गया।
लेकिन सर अगर सिंगल मेल को पर्सनल रह जाता है,
हाँ,
तो वो भी तो उसको पार्टीशन कर ही सकता है।
कर सकता है या
Pramod, any other question from your side?
तो फैमिली अरेंजमेंट का जो सर डेट जो बनती है उसको इनकम टैक्स में देना जरूरी है?
नहीं तो आईटीओ पूछेगा तो देना जरूरी है, अदरवाइज तो फैमिली अरेंजमेंट का आपस का ही डील है। जब एसेट आएगी तो देना पड़ेगा। और वहां पे मैं एक बताना भूल गया था सर, वो बोलते बोलते मैं रह गया मेरा। मैंने एक तो बताया था कि अपन फैमिली अरेंजमेंट डीड एक बना देते हैं और उसके अंदर मैं कैसे कैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे वो सब आ जाएगा। फिर एंड में पहला कॉलम मैंने बताया था कि पार्टियों के नाम आएंगे, सेकंड में एसेट आएगी, थर्ड में हाउ यू वांट टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट टू हुम, वो आएगा, एंड फोर्थ पार्ट में आएगा कि अभी बिकॉज ऑफ दिस कौन आदमी किसको क्या ट्रांसफर करेगा। तो वो आइडेंटिटी जिसके नाम पे ही है और उसको मिला उसको तो कुछ करना ही नहीं है अभी, पर जिसके नाम पे नहीं है और दूसरे के नाम पे और इसको मिलेगा उसका ट्रांसफर हो जाएगा। ये तो हो गया एक सिंपल डीड जो अपने आराम से बना सकते हैं। लेकिन अपने को चाहिए कि ये डीड बनने के बाद भी ये लोगों का झगड़ा चालू रहेगा कोई बात से, और ये लोग फैमिली में शांति से बैठेंगे नहीं, एक कोई भी तूफानी आदमी वो लफड़ा करेगा। तो वो सिचुएशन में हम क्या सजेस्ट करते हैं, 4 डॉक्यूमेंट बनाते हैं। पहला डॉक्यूमेंट सब फैमिली मेंबर आपस में एग्री करते हैं, वो एक डीड बनाते हैं रेफरेंस टू दी फैमिली अरेंजमेंट, रेफरेंस टू द आर्बिट्रेटर। तो वो उसको बाद में एक डीड बनाते हैं अपने फैमिली में। डीड सिस्टम वही है, वही 20 आदमी, ये प्रॉपर्टियां है, अपने को झगड़ा करना नहीं है, आपस में सेटल करना है, और अपन मिस्टर एक्स को आर्बिट्रेटर बनाने का सोच रहे हैं, एंड वी वांट टू रेफर टू आर्बिट्रेशन एंड नॉट टू डिस्प्यूट अमंग अवरसेल्फ, और वो 200 आदमी लोग उसको साइन करेंगे नोटरी पब्लिक के सामने। सेकंड डॉक्यूमेंट बनेगा, वो सब 500 स्टैंप पेपर बनते हैं बॉम्बे में, कलकत्ता में मेरे ख्याल से 500 की जगह 100 रुपए ही है। और सेकंड डॉक्यूमेंट बनेगा, उसमें ये लिखा जाएगा कि रियल रेफरेंस हो रहा है आर्बिट्रेटर। तो बोलेंगे भी हम 20 आदमी हैं, हमने मिस्टर एक्स को आर्बिट्रेटर अपॉइंट किया है, तो वी आर अपॉइंटिंग मिस्टर एक्स आर्बिट्रेटर टू गो इनटू अवर डिटेल। हमने ऐसा कल अरेंजमेंट कर दिया था, वो डीड आपको इसमें इंक्लोज कर रहे हैं और आप इसको हमारा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करो, तो वो सेकंड डीड हो गया। इसके बाद आर्बिट्रेटर सबको बुलाएगा, मीटिंग करेगा और एक अवार्ड देगा। वो ये अवार्ड देगा कि पहले तो लोगों ने आपस में अरेंजमेंट किया कि मैटर रेफर करना आर्बिट्रेटर को, वो एग्रीमेंट इंक्लोज्ड है अवार्ड के साथ। सेकंड एनेक्सर, ये लोगों ने मेरे को रेफर किया, दैट एनेक्सर इज इंक्लोज्ड। थर्ड, आई एम गिविंग अवार्ड लाइक दिस, ए विल गेट दिस, बी विल गेट दिस, सी विल गेट दिस, डी विल गेट दिस। तो उसके अंदर दोनों इंक्लोजर भी आ गया और थर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट हो गया। अभी ये अवार्ड आने के बाद फैमिली मेंबर के पास दो ऑप्शन है, या तो कोर्ट में जाके झगड़ा करो और या अवार्ड को मानो। तो फिर वो अज्यूम करो वो मान रहे, तो देन दे अगेन मेक ए फोर्थ डॉक्यूमेंट व्हिच इज कॉल्ड फैमिली अरेंजमेंट अगेन, और वो उसमें लिखेगा कि मैं हमने ऐसा ऐसा डिसाइड किया था रेफर करने के लिए, देन वी अपॉइंटेड आर्बिट्रेटर एंड रेफर टू हिम, देन आर्बिट्रेटर ने अपना अवार्ड भी दे दिया है एंड वी आर एक्सेप्टिंग दिस अवार्ड। और हमारे को अभी ये प्रॉपर्टियां शेड्यूल ए में है, शेड्यूल बी के हिसाब से डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे, शेड्यूल सी के हिसाब से एक्सचेंज ऐसा ऐसा ये आदमी इसको ट्रांसफर करेगा, तो जो इफेक्ट है अवार्ड का वो इफेक्ट हो जाएगा। देन इट इज आर्बिट्रेटर का ऑर्डर होता है, दैट इज लाइक ए कोर्ट्स ऑर्डर। तो वो जो नॉर्मली, अभी चैलेंज तो हिंदुस्तान में सब कुछ हो सकता है वो अलग बात है, बट नॉर्मली दैट इज एक्सेप्टेड एज ए कोर्ट ऑर्डर। और झगड़ा इनकम टैक्स में समझाना भी इजी हो जाता है कि साहब देखो मेरे को 10 रुपया मिलने वाला था, लेकिन फिर भी मैंने 4 आना में सेटल इसलिए किया कि आर्बिट्रेटर का अवार्ड था। किसी को 4 आना मिलने वाला था, उसको 12 आना मिल गया, वो भी बोलेगा कि मेरे को 12 आना मिला बिकॉज अवार्ड एज पर आर्बिट्रेटर। तो ये 4 डॉक्यूमेंट बन जाएंगे तो थोड़ा और काम पक्का हो जाता है, सॉलिड।
तो सर फैमिली अरेंजमेंट डीड बनने के बाद में एक्सचेंज ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी होना जरूरी होता है क्या? एक्सचेंज ऑफ एसेट्स
वो नहीं तो उसका इफेक्ट कैसे होगा? इफेक्ट तो देना ही पड़ेगा ना,
या नहीं पड़ेगा ना?
नहीं तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कैसे होगा? आज मेरे मदर फादर के पास मकान है और मेरे को फैमिली अरेंजमेंट में मिला है, तो जब तक मेरे फादर मेरे नाम पे ट्रांसफर नहीं करेंगे मेरे को मिला क्या? कल मेरे को बेचना होगा वायदी में।
सर एक चीज होता है, डेथ के बाद में फादर की जो प्रॉपर्टी आती है, समझे फादर की डेथ होगी उसकी प्रॉपर्टी आती है, कैन इट बी सोन एज द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द एचयूएफ ऑफ व्हिच वन पर्सन इज अ मेंबर?
नहीं फादर की अगर एचयूएफ की प्रॉपर्टी है और मेरे एचयूएफ में आती है तो यस प्रॉपर्टी एचयूएफ होगा, बट मेरे फादर की इंडिविजुअल प्रॉपर्टी है, मेरे फादर की अगर इंडिविजुअल प्रॉपर्टी है और मेरे को इंडिविजुअल कैपेसिटी मिली है तो मैं इंडिविजुअल बेचूंगा, एचयूएफ आएगी नहीं पिक्चर में।
एचयूएफ नहीं आएगी, बट ठीक है,
मेरे फादर ने विल में दिखाया कि ये दिस प्रॉपर्टी विल गो टू विमल पुनिया एचयूएफ, देन मेरे एचयूएफ।
नहीं स्टिल रहते हैं ऑप्शन ऑफ द पर्सन जिनको मिल रही है वो एचयूएफ में जा सकते नहीं?
नो ऑप्शन। मेरे को इंडिविजुअल मिलने के बाद में एचयूएफ में ट्रांसफर करना चाहूँ तो कर ही सकता हूँ।
आप तो कर सकते हैं आप।
और प्रॉपर्टी होगी तो उसकी इनकम तो आने वाली नहीं है, जब तक बेचूंगा नहीं तो क्लबिंग भी नहीं आएगा।
ठीक, और कुछ क्वेश्चन विष्णु?
नहीं बस और तो सब कंप्लीट है सर। ये जैसे अपने ये जो विल करना, जैसे हम लोग सुनते हैं कि विल जो विल बनाते हैं तो सर प्रोबेट निकलवाना पड़ता है और ऐसा चलने में काफी टाइम लगता है, तो शुड इंडिविजुअल ऑप्ट फॉर विल और लेट द थिंग्स रिमेन लाइक
दूसरा ऑप्शन नहीं सर, विल के बाद में प्रोबेट लाना पड़ेगा, और जो आदमी प्रोबेट का इंसिस्ट करेगा तो विल नहीं होगा तो बोलेगा सक्सेशन सर्टिफिकेट लेके आओ। प्रोसीजर तो वो है करीब 1-2 महीना कम ज्यादा लगेगा, और सक्सेशन सर्टिफिकेट फिर वापस इक्वल करना, ये करना, वो दूसरे लफड़े खड़े हो जाएंगे। विल में तो एज पर आपको मैं मेरे बेटे को कुछ भी नहीं दूं, सब कुछ मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड को दे दूं तो भी विल में परमिटेड है। और विल में 2 विटनेस होना बहुत जरूरी है। ये बहुत मैं आपको बता देता हूँ, बहुत एग्जाम्पल, मेरे मैट्रिक चल रहा है अभी। एक आदमी था जिसके पास बहुत पैसा था, बहुत बड़ा आदमी था, गुटखा कंपनी का मालिक था, 1 लाख करोड़ की उसकी खुद की वेल्थ थी, और उसकी वाइफ थी, उसके 3 लड़कियां थी, 1 लड़का था, और उसकी जो सेक्रेटरी की थी उसके साथ उसका रिलेशनशिप चालू था, और सेक्रेटरी के साथ वाइफ की तबीयत खराब थी तो सेक्रेटरी के साथ ही रहता था। तीनों डॉटर की, फर्स्ट वाइफ की डॉटर की शादी हो गई, तीनों बच्चों की, 1 लड़का था उसमें जो बिजनेस रन कर रहा है, और ये सेक्रेटरी के साथ रहने से इसको भी 1 बच्ची हो गई, लड़की। और मीन टाइम उस आदमी को थोड़ा तबियत खराब हुआ तो उसको लगा मेरा डेथ का टाइम आ गया है, तो उसने एक विल बनाया, हैंड रिटन विल बनाया, बहुत क्लियरली विल बनाया, अच्छी तरह से लिखा है कि मेरी ये प्रॉपर्टियां है, उसको कम से कम 84 तो उसके प्रोजेक्ट्स चल रहे हैं जगह जगह पे, गुटखा कंपनी और बड़ा बड़ा बिजनेस है, और उससे ये लिखा कि मेरा ये प्रॉपर्टी ऐसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होगा, ये ऐसा। तो ऑन एन एवरेज उसने क्या किया, उसकी 1 लाख करोड़ की जो पर्सनल वेल्थ थी उसको 50-50% में डिवाइड किया, 50% बेटे को दिया और 50% ये डॉटर को दिया। अभी हुआ क्या, उसकी डेथ के बाद में उठावना वगैरह होने के बाद विटनेस के सामने, मतलब वकील के सामने वो बिल खोला गया, तो मालूम पड़ा कि 2 विटनेस का साइन नहीं है। अभी वो 2 विटनेस का साइन नहीं है तो बिल की वैल्यू नहीं, रफ कागज के जैसा हो गया। सो नाउ एसेट हैज टू बी डिवाइडेड इसमें हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट। अब उसमें क्या होता है, पहली फैमिली में 3 डॉटर है, उसका भी हक है पूरा, और बेटा है, तो 4 भाग वो हो गए। ये लेडी से उसने शादी नहीं किया, वो साथ में रहती थी खाली, तो उसका कोई हक नहीं है। और ये लड़की का हक है, ऑफ कोर्स, सी वाज द डॉटर। तो 4 वो और 1 ये 5, तो ये लड़की को जो 50% मिलने वाला था अभी खाली 20% मिलेगा। अभी वो आदमी मेजोरिटी में आ गया 80% में, तो जो प्रॉपर्टी इसको चाहिए वो देता ही नहीं है। और 85 प्रॉपर्टी में 25%, 80% करना प्रैक्टिकल नहीं है। यू हैव टू एलोकेट सर्टेन प्रॉपर्टी ओनली, के कुछ प्रॉपर्टी इसके पास आएगी, कुछ उनके पास जाएगी, उसके पास जाएगी उसकी वैल्यू 80% होगी, इसके पास जाएगी उसकी वैल्यू 20% रहेगी। अभी इसको वो ऐसी प्रॉपर्टी दे रहा है जिसकी वैल्यू ही नहीं है मार्केट में, मतलब रीसेल वैल्यू नहीं है। इसको चाहिए कि ऐसी प्रॉपर्टी मिले जिसकी वैल्यू होवे। तो नाउ दे अपॉइंटेड मी एज आर्बिट्रेटर, और हम थोड़ा नेगोशिएशन करके सेटल कर रहे हैं, ट्राई कर रहे हैं। तो विटनेस बहुत जरूरी है विल के अंदर।
विटनेस आइडियली किसको होना चाहिए सर? जनरली
अपने से यंग आदमी होवे तो वो अच्छा रहेगा, बाकी तो नसीब है, बहुत आदमी विटनेस बनाता है अपने से यंग, और विटनेस का ही डेथ हो गया।
नहीं, इसमें वन ऑफ द मेडिकल प्रैक्टिशनर डॉक्टर नहीं रहना चाहिए।
एक डॉक्टर होगा तो अच्छा है, नहीं जरूरी नहीं है, एक डॉक्टर होगा तो अच्छा है। तो दैट प्रूव, क्योंकि नॉर्मली विल किस पॉइंट पे चैलेंज होती है, अगर विल को आप रजिस्टर ही कर रहे हैं, बाय द वे 100-200 रुपए रजिस्ट्रेशन फीस लगता है, तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। पर बहुत बार आदमी सोचता है कौन रजिस्ट्रेशन में जाएगा, लीगली जरूरत तो है नहीं, मैं काय के लिए रजिस्टर करूं, तो अपन रजिस्टर नहीं करते हैं। तो जो आदमी को चैलेंज करना हुआ किसी को भी, अब हिंदुस्तान में क्या कोई भी किसी को चैलेंज तो कुछ भी कर सकता है, तो वो इस ग्राउंड पे चैलेंज करेगा कि ये आदमी का उसने मेंटल पीस बराबर नहीं था, ये प्रेशर में साइन लिया गया, ये इसको ड्रिंक करा के कर ऐसा किया गया, तो दुनिया भर के ये कॉम्पिटेंट नहीं था उस पीरियड में। तो ऐसे करके बहुत सारे ग्राउंड बना के चैलेंज हो सकता है। तो अगर आपने एक बार रजिस्टर कर लिया तो चैलेंज होने का चांस कम हो जाता है। और जब रजिस्टर करेंगे तो मेरा आधार कार्ड या पैन कार्ड साथ में लगाना पड़ेगा विल में, 2 विटनेस मेरे को लेके जाना पड़ेगा, एंड मेरे को डॉक्टर सर्टिफिकेट भी लेके जाना पड़ेगा कि आई एम मेंटली फिट टू मेक ए विल। लेकिन अभी मेरा विल घर पे जो मैं साइन करता हूँ, उस टाइम विटनेस कोई भी 2 हो सकता है, और रजिस्ट्रेशन आएगा वो दूसरा भी हो सकता है। घर पे जब साइन करता हूँ तो हो सकता है मैंने एक डॉक्टर को इन्वाइट कर दिया, या मेरा नेबर को मैंने बुला लिया जो रेपुटेड आदमी है, और वहां पे मैं जाने के टाइम में ड्राइवर को भी लेके जा सकता हूँ, मेरे ऑफिस के प्यून को भी लेके जा सकता हूँ रजिस्ट्रेशन में। तो रजिस्ट्रेशन में मेरा इंपॉर्टेंट है रजिस्ट्रार के पास कि मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि यस आई एम मेकिंग दिस विल। विटनेस उतना इंपॉर्टेंट वहां पे नहीं है। और घर पे जो जेन्युइन विटनेस है, कल कोर्ट में अगर कोई डिस्प्यूट खड़ा होता है तो मेरे जो जेन्युइन विटनेस जिसने साइन किया है उनको मेरे को कोर्ट में प्रोड्यूस भी करना पड़ सकता है, उनकी एफिडेविट भी लेनी पड़ सकती है। और एक एग्जीक्यूटर भी अपनों को अपॉइंट करना पड़ता है। अभी मैं समझो विल मेरा बनाता हूँ, तो मैं तो मरूंगा, उसके बाद तो विल इफेक्टिव होगी, तो उस दिन तो मैं तो रहूंगा नहीं। तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि इसको इतना दो, इसको इतना दो, ये चैरिटी करो, ये ऐसा करो, ये वैसा, करेगा कौन? तो उसके लिए एग्जीक्यूटर होता है। अगर मैंने सब्सटेंशियल पैसा मेरी वाइफ को या बेटे को या बेटी को दिया तो मैं उसको एग्जीक्यूटर बना दूं। लेकिन मेरे को मालूम है कि मैं मरने के बाद यही आपस में झगड़ा करने वाले हैं, देन आई हैव टू अपॉइंट सम अनदर फ्रेंड, एडवोकेट, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट होगा ज्यादा अच्छा, वो अकाउंट भी समझता है अच्छी तरह से। तो वो डिपेंड करेगा केस टू केस पे।
प्रमोद, तुम would like to complete? Thank you, sir. Sir, there is one question. Is it mandatory to sign all pages of will?
Better. If you witness all the page and last में sign करेंगे तो भी चलेगा, but if you sign all the page it is good only, no harm. Thumb impression भी लगाओ last page पे, एक छोटू फोटो भी लगा दो अपना।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you sir.
Thank you. आज का तो जो सब्जेक्ट था ये अपना HUF plus family settlement. These two subjects itself are very large. Sir, you have explained practical as well as taxation aspect beautifully. And so not only trust and HUF, this family settlement HUF, you explained regarding about trust and as well as will also, sir. So nice of you, and sir, thanks a lot. We are looking forward for.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
और मेरा सर एचओ का राइटअप आपको मिल गया, करेक्ट?
हाँ, एक आइटम मिला हुआ है
हाँ,
सर।
कोई भी नहीं मिला तो मुझे आप फोन करना, आई सेंड यू अगेन।
जी सर।
और एक सर का कोई सवाल रह गया था, उनसे वो कल से बात कर लूंगा फोन पे।
ठीक।
थैंक यू सर।